All right, welcome back to the channel again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for coming over, man. I saw this title and I was like, wait, what the hell? I was kind of like, what the hell happened? We're back on the Truth Is channel. All right. Shout out to him for this video. I'll leave the full video in the description so you guys can check out more and even subscribe. Make sure you check his channel out. Got a gang of amazing videos, man. But Tory Lanez fight for freedom comes to a sad end. He's everything that's going on with him, with Rock Nation, and that the whole Megan Thee Stallion thing. It's pretty wild, man. It's wild. And I believe he was trying to, because some new evidence had came out or something, and I think he was trying to get out of jail, but we'll see what the hell happened here, man. Again, appreciate you guys coming over. We ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Earlier this year, Tory Lanez's legal team claimed they found the evidence needed to get him out of prison, demanding that the California courts revoke Tory's conviction as they could prove his innocence. They held a press conference and promised Tory would be free soon, revealing they had already filed an appeal and were preparing to file a motion that would allow them to introduce new evidence. This press conference went viral, as his legal team seemed so confident in their evidence. When people saw this, they were hoping the truth would finally be revealed. But then, months later, there was only bad news for Tory. Sadly, back in August, Tory's legal motion to introduce new evidence was rejected by the courts. This was a massive blow to Tory's defense, but there was still hope as Tory's initial appeal was still pending. But sadly, just a few days back, Tory got more terrible news, as his appeal was sadly rejected, ending his fight for freedom.
Damn.
Now, he must finish the remainder of his 10-year sentence for a crime he swears he never committed. But after looking into why this appeal was rejected, it quickly became apparent that the judge seemed to have made up his mind before even listening to the reasons for his appeal, making it seem more obvious than ever that there's a conspiracy behind Tory's takedown. Hey guys, I hope all is well.
And again, people may feel a certain way about a certain person, but right is right, wrong is wrong. I don't know, man. It just seems, it's like you don't want to speculate, but it seems like there is a lot of shadiness going on at the top in this case. I'll just say that.
Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode, we will be talking about Tory Lanez's appeal being rejected, why exactly did they choose to reject it, and we will also get into Tory's last possible opportunity for freedom.
Damn.
Let's get right into it. For the last few years, the world has watched as Tory Lanez fought for his life. Since day one, he declared his innocence and promised the world he didn't shoot Meg, promising that he would beat this case because he truly didn't do it. However, when it came to the trial, things didn't go as he had hoped for. It seemed like it was all over when in December 2022, he was found guilty and sentenced to 10 years in a California prison. His supporters were devastated as they felt Tory was truly innocent, something that even after he was found guilty, he continued to insist was true. The whole time Tory was serving his sentence, he was vocal about proving his innocence and getting out of prison. But it wasn't until a few months after his conviction that his legal team started fighting back. Tory Lanez's legal...
And then you also got to remember, it's like something about when they were, getting all this evidence, and then he ended up getting stabbed, and I was like, man, like, yeah, something's definitely going on, man. You know how things be seeming like it's obvious, like, wait a minute, they over here playing in our face, I just, again, and I think he's going to bring it up about like the whole Rock Nation and the deal and all that. Yeah, hopefully.
Team filed an appeal of his conviction around March 29, 2023, a few months after he was found guilty in December. His legal team argued that he deserved a new trial due to the first trial being riddled with errors. His lawyers argued that the trial judge should have not allowed certain evidence in front of the jury, such as questions posed to Megan Thee Stallion during her testimony. They also argued against the discussion of Lane's tattoos and an audio recording of Kelsey, who was a key witness in a prior interview. His defense team also argued that the prosecution presented misleading DNA evidence. They argued that Tory's DNA was not found on the gun and that the inconclusive findings on the weapon itself should have been presented differently to create reasonable doubt. His team also alleged that the prosecutors engaged in misconduct and that the jury was improperly instructed on the charges, also claiming that his right to testify in his own defense was unfairly discouraged by the prospect that his song lyrics and other potentially damaging evidence might be used against him during cross-examination. From all angles, it looked like Tory had strong valid reasons to be granted an appeal. He showed proof that the prosecution was operating in bad faith, meeting with one of Tory's key witnesses and making him flip on him. The whole DNA evidence was also debunked, with the actual DNA reports claiming it was inconclusive when in reality, it was not found on the weapon. By all means, it seemed Tory had a good shot for an appeal. This only got stronger when in May 2025, Lane's legal team and advocates held a press conference to present a new statement from Kelsey Harris's bodyguard, claiming he heard her admit to shooting Megan Thee Stallion herself. And in July 2025, the statement from the bodyguard was officially submitted to the court as part of the habeas corpus petition. Now all Tory had to do was wait until the courts made up their minds. Many of Tory's supporters and people who just believed in a fair trial hoped that at minimum, this would lead to a new trial, but it wouldn't take long for the bad news to start rolling in. Just 1 month later, on August 12, 2025, the California Courts of Appeals denied the 2 petitions for a new evidentiary hearing or a new trial, ruling the claim did not qualify for the habeas relief. The court found the new evidence was not credible or did not support a claim of actual innocence, and the arguments could not have been raised during the initial trial or appeal. The court specifically stated that Lane's claims about new DNA testing on the gun were inconclusive and wouldn't change the outcome, and that evidence from witnesses like his driver Jaquan Smith was inadmissible because he wasn't called to testify at trial. Just like that, Tory's attempt to add what I and many believe was evidence that was credible and valuable to the trial was completely rejected. While this was a disappointment, it wasn't the end for Tory's fight for freedom, as even though this was rejected, he still had his initial appeal pending. But sadly, just a few days back, Tory got the news that his first appeal was unfortunately rejected. On November 12, 2025, Tory Lanez's appeal was rejected because a California appellate court found no prejudicial error in the original trial and determined that there was sufficient evidence to support the jury's guilty verdict. The court ruled that any minor mistakes made during the trial would have not changed the outcome. The judge rejected all of Tory's legal team's points for an appeal. For example, Lane's lawyers argued that the original judge should have not...
Listen, are y'all hearing what he's saying? Listen how many times he said judge, the judge, the judge. They're saying the judge. That's what I've been saying. You don't want to speculate, but it's like, you talking about something wouldn't have changed the outcome. A lot of people were saying they think that the judges are part of the system. A lot of them being paid off. That's what people are saying, allegedly. So my whole thing is like, when you look at everything he's talking about this in this video, you go, well, damn. You know, I mean, it's like, it is, we're out, I don't even think we're halfway through the video yet. And I already got the information I needed to get. You know, I just feel like whenever you have cases like this and someone's trying to present some evidence and they be like, nah, it's not going to change. And you be like, what do you mean? I feel like that's and the man got stabbed and I don't know. Bodyguard said that he heard her say she shot. Yeah.
Allowed certain evidence, such as specific witness testimonies and Instagram posts or references to his tattoos to be presented to the jury, as it would lead to a tainted jury pool. The appeals court dismissed these claims, with judges finding that even if there were minor errors in admitting the evidence, they were harmless and did not impact the verdict. Now, this is insane when you think about it. The judges are pretty much saying that the truth doesn't matter, saying that even if the prosecution had followed the judicial rules and not presented misleading evidence, Tory would have still been found guilty. How does that make sense though? The judge is literally saying the prosecution would have won even if they didn't cheat. But shouldn't the fact that the prosecution cheated be enough reason for Tory to get a new fair trial? According to the judge, it doesn't matter that they cheated because he believes Tory would have been found guilty no matter what. Tory's lawyers also brought up that the jury was not given the correct instructions regarding the charges before considering their...
Man. Again, the full video will be in the description. I stopped it here at the 6:27 mark. The video is like 11 minutes, 56 seconds. I don't need to see no more. You know, I get the gist of it. Again, the system, the way it's supposed to work is, I mean, I think is, you know, you gather all the evidence that's presented and you go from there. Whenever you are denying evidence or saying, you know how you see in those movies where you'll have a lawyer or their team and they're waiting for someone to either bring someone who might have been in witness protection, but they're scared. I forgot what movie that was, where they were trying to get someone to the courthouse before, because they was like, it's going to be tough getting this person here because someone is trying to kill them. And they went through all, y'all know the movie, I forget it, but it took them forever to get this person down to the courthouse. And they had evidence that would prove someone's innocence or something. I feel like this is one of those situations like where somebody's trying to run and get to the courthouse with like, look, I have the evidence here. And the judge is like, let me see that. No. You know what I mean? Like, this is so crazy. So crazy. But, yeah, I mean, it's denied. I don't know if he can or if he's going to try again, but yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of people who are in prison right now who feel they shouldn't be. I mean, it's so many stories you see where someone was accused of this and they served like 20, 30 years and then they were let out because somebody got the courage to finally tell the truth about what really happened. And you have this being presented in the early times of you know, him being in prison. I mean, the dude literally got stabbed. I forgot how many times, but yeah. Appreciate y'all coming over and watching, man. Peace out.